Hello, LegendAqua here, and let's get straight to brass tacks, shall we? Okay, so Symphogear XD Unlimited is going global in about 1 to 2 months' time. Bushiroad and Pokélabo will be, I think, handling the global version at that time. So I would like to go through as a person who's played the Japanese version since launch and has been playing to this day, just to see what kind of like roadmap experiences as well as gacha experiences you're going to go through. And from there, well, let's just start from the start, shall we? Most probably the first thing will happen is pre-register. And for the Japanese version, this happened as well, which would be, if I can actually find the card, you will get your first free 4-star. And if I can remember correctly, I just can't remember the name that well. It's been a long time. It's not the Gazebo. Where is she? Where is she? Do I have her in my barracks or my other one? No. So sure I didn't put her in there. I think this is it. Yeah, so our first free 4-star that we'll get through pre-registration goals is getting Mega Death Party Chris. I obviously got her through JP version, also that will be number 1. After that, we'll go through some typical events, and the events, well, I didn't really show these in my videos and all, but like how for the Godzilla one, for the most part, it's not 5 stars at the time, because 5 stars were a rarity during the first year and all. The events will give out 4 stars for free, one of them, and then you can like dupe them and then get them past to level 70. Sorry, not 70, 60. But that's early on. And that will happen, give or take, for the next year or so. So the event structure is the same, the rewards will be 4 stars and everything. So event-wise, that's just how you're going to end up, really. Because that's how I got, let's see. Oh yeah. Like, she's initially a 4-star, and I got her this way. I just like this version of Tsubasa so much that I've managed to 5-star her. Yeah, so there's that. In the second year, there'll be a big event happening, especially for the first anniversary. And that will happen during the summer event. And that will start to change the gacha rules. Not so much the event, that happens later on. And, well, you guys know my gacha pulls, right? Or more or less, the JP version of the gacha for now. Where you get 4-star, you get 5 stars in almost every multi. It's not like this, it wasn't like this at the start, obviously, since I said that 5 stars were more of a rarity. I had to hoard, I think, well over 2k gems just to try and get my first 5-star Hibiki at the time. And I didn't get her till second year during the summer event, and that's when I just pulled for a lot of Hibikis. And I think during that time, from what I can recollect and everything, they went on this huge campaign for the first or second, I think it was the first proper anniversary, because, you know, it was like halfway through the year that Symphogear was actually released and everything, so it was their first anniversary and everything. And they started implementing the system of bringing in 5 stars through the multis. I think that was it. And then on towards the second year, I think about halfway through, then they started implementing the 5 stars. The 5 stars into the events, which was best idea, because mainly because the fact that getting 4 stars through events is only good for the early years of Symphogear XD. That was the biggest thing. Having it now changed to a 5-star who's somebody you would rather want to get instead of a puny 4-star, it changed the game. It absolutely did. And the gacha changes even better. And hopefully the global publishers is still Bushiroad and Pokélabo, but I'm expecting somebody like K-Lab to get into it, since they're English translators and publishers, so they might get into it, but I'm speculating about that. It might just be Bushiroad and Pokélabo wants to take the reins on it for global release as well, and not have any other publishers in it. Who knows? So there's that. And towards that, why I'm saying about publishers is, if K-Lab actually managed to co-publish Symphogear, I'm not too sure about gacha rates, but all I'm going to say is, just be warned, at least for the first year, gacha rates are gonna be hell. I know this from personal experience. The gacha rates for the first year was absolutely hellish. Trying to get even 1 5-star, it just was. It's not like it now. Quite obviously, they changed a lot just to make preferences, well, not preferences, just a better chance to get a 5-star that you want, and then have a better chance to get it up to level 70 and awaken them. They streamlined that. That was the entire purpose of it. That's why we're getting way more 5-stars than usual. That's the entire point. Just in the early years, that system was not implemented, and therefore 4 stars and 5 stars, especially 5 stars, were a rarity. That was the entire thing. Okay, so a lot of people who comment on my videos, especially my Symphogear videos, talk a lot about awakening and getting your units to 6 stars. This took me a long time for me to actually realize, and I think it's finally time to actually talk about it, because I mainly do gacha videos on this, not awakening and stuff. It's actually very hard to do, actually. And you do that. This is obviously implemented, I think, after the first anniversary, and after give or take a couple of months afterwards, they implemented the 6 stars. And to do the 6 stars, you have to get these materials. And where do you get these materials from? Well, this is the part that is the real grind, and the thing is, I missed the entire Awakening event, so because of that, I couldn't get the freebies to even get one of my units to a 6-star. But seriously, you guys, don't miss the Awakening events. You're gonna kick yourself just like me for doing this. You get them from here. These are the raid battles. and you get the materials for them, like every single one of them, but obviously since this is a raid battle and everything, yeah, see, so you get all the materials that you need for awakening your unit. But obviously this depends on how much damage you do to the boss. See the problem here? Since I only have 5 stars, and a lot of people have 6 stars, especially in JP, it's getting materials hard. And because, as I said, just as like a huge PSA, once the Awakening event shows up, get those free materials so you can actually start to have at least 1 6-star. I'm imploring you, just seriously, this is a huge thing. It changes the game again because of this. Not to mention, that's not all you have to do. Like, that is getting up to 6 stars, but then you need to awaken them. And that's through this. This one's easier, at least, because you get these materials, like these materials, through the events. So that's a compromise, at least. So like, oh, I can actually upgrade her already since I got heaps of material. Let's do that. I think I do it one more time. Might as well. Cool. Let's actually do this fully because I've been forgetting to do this. Yeah, see? Changes their cards as well. Oh. Okay, so what else is there? Okay, they've implemented these 2 buttons later on, and obviously these 2 as well. That's awakening, that's duping your characters. I forgot about this one as well. So you get dupes of characters, right? What do you do with them? Do you just dupe? Do you just level up the other card? No, because you can actually just transfer them over. So let's see. Transfer them over, get them over limit, etc, etc. So let's just get her. Might as well. I kind of need to clear up my barracks a lot. I keep forgetting to do that. Okay, the thing is, you need them at max level. However, you can do this as a workaround by having these drills. These drills lets you do them as long as you have the dupe of the character. And then you can just... Now she can go up to level 54. Here's the biggest problem with the awakening part, at least. I should have actually shown this part first. To fully awaken your characters and get them up to 6 stars, see my Maria here, you need 5 copies of her at the start. And I think you need to awaken her with those event stones. After you do that, you can get them up to 6 stars and then start doing raid battles. I've been doing that, but I've been, how do I say it, a little bit down on my luck and just doing other stuff, but yeah. Okay, so what else? I think this is your album? Which I don't think I've never opened before. Okay. Yeah, so I was right, that's your album. And they've implemented this around the 2nd year, which is you get more space, which I desperately needed. But you can actually change that because, and I think I've also forgotten about this a lot. Go into AP and then press this button and then you can just increase your barrack space. It's gonna cost some gems, but still, it's worth it. Okay, so next up, I need to talk about gem. I need to talk about gem management, or just the dispersion of gems that you get through events at the start of the first year. First year, they're gonna be extremely they're gonna be greedy about it, like really stingy about the gem count that you get, because as I said, at the start of the first year or at the start of the release, they're gonna be really stingy about getting 5 stars, without a doubt. So therefore, getting gems is gonna be extremely hard. The only ways you can get them is through events where you're gonna be somewhat underleveled. I think SP quest, but that's that's more like a daily thing. Side quests, XD quests, I think. Actually, no. XD quest is challenge mode. So event quest and main quests at the start, as well as SP quests. And some of these nodes takes a long time because it's obviously following the animes. Yeah, 5 nodes. It's gonna take a bit of time just to get all 5 gems. But trying to go through the story, it was your best way of getting gems. And I think at the start, well, not the start, maybe early to middle of release, they will give you heaps of gems at the start. I can't remember how much, but they will do that just to give you the chance of getting the 5 stars. However, later down the line, I think, be it second year or around the second year, they started giving out free multis. In other words, 200 gems. Heck, I just got 200 gems just because I don't know, some kind of celebration or something, and I got 200 gems just because of that. Again, this might depend on the publishers, but hopefully Bushiroad and Pokélabo still has a hand in this, therefore we'll get free gems at the time. This leverages everything because it just means you don't need to hoard many gems, and then you can just pull for whatever. I would suggest for veterans later down the line to save up, give or take 8 multis, so 1.6k to about 2k. Don't need to go that much, but it just depends on the unit that you want. But yeah, okay, maybe 2k's are going a little bit overboard. 1500 to 1700 gems, especially on collabs. And again, for collabs, that depends on Bushiroad and Pokélabo. If they are still doing it, as well as K-Lab or something like that, that will depend, but hopefully we'll get collabs as well, Bang Dream, SSS Gridman, and the current one that's happening now, the Godzilla one. As long as Pokélabo and Bushiroad has a hand in this, hopefully collabs will still be a thing. I'm hoping so. And K-Lab, the reason why I keep on pulling K-Lab is because K-Lab, has licenses towards something like Bang Dream, therefore it makes a lot of sense in my opinion. Not too sure about SSS Gridman and Godzilla, that might be Pokélabo and Bushiroad's kind of thing, but if all 3 work together, that's completely fine. Collabs, in my opinion, will be no problem at all for them to get licensed and given to us. So that's not a problem. I think, so I talked about most of the technical stuff. I've talked about gameplay mechanics, gems, as well as the roadmap for the most part. I think the last thing I should be saying is, I think I talked about this in one of my videos about the problems of Symphogear, and this happened starting from the second anniversary, and it's still going on. It's like, obviously it's mainly gacha problems and everything, and I think I may have talked about storage, but I think that's no longer a problem anymore, but mainly gacha. So Symphogear has a lot of banners, and during the halfway past the first anniversary, they went crazy with banners, because right now there's, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, there's 7 active banners. No, sorry, 8 active banners going on. Okay, so, okay, it hasn't changed. The amount of banners that's out hasn't changed. However, like, I remember really early on, maybe, like, as I said, like, first halfway past this first anniversary going on to second anniversary, they tempted you a lot with these banners, because hey, it's like, hey, here's a free 5-star, it doesn't matter which one, but here's a chance to get a free 5-star with one of the units that you want or like. It's happened a lot. It's still happening now. Hell, I'm actually wanting to maybe fully extend Change the Future right now, but I don't want to. I want to save my gems, but yeah, these stuff happen a lot. However, some of these banners are good, but for me as a collector and everything who doesn't really worry about awakening units, even though it's kind of necessary for getting through some of the later missions, especially story missions. I'm talking about you, Axis. Ugh. But for a person like me who would rather collect and just get through the event, be done with it, and that's it, there are several gacha banners that are actually kind of useful if you want to awaken a certain unit, because there are times, like actually this one for now, where they will give out the chance to get the same unit over and over. Guaranteed. You just need the gems to do it. Because as I said, just an awakening unit, you need 5 copies of the same unit, and then go and do the event stones and then the raid battles. After you do that, you can get down to level 70. These banners are the perfect way to do it, if you're willing to do so. But for a hoarder like me, there's no point. There is absolutely no point for me. So, as tempting as this is, is that it? No, I think there's one more thing. I found this out later on. Obviously, a lot of people might find this out as well. And that is... well, love the song. You can... So, leveling out songs, it just obviously helps with overall party stats. But... come on. Yeah, I think that's it. You can get gems. You can get gems from this. So, the more songs you get, getting songs is actually a nice gem generator, as long as you level them up. See, I can just do it. This one. I've got the amount of money, so this is no problem. Let's do this up to 40. Am I in Carol's song? See, 889. Let's do this one. Let me at least get to 900. Why not? And come on. Oh, 2 more. Do I have to do it? Yeah, 901. See, it's a nice generation of gems if you're still trying to find ways just to get gems. So yeah, I think that's about it. I'm not too sure about. Oh yeah, no, there's more. I'm sorry. There's PvP, and PvP will have some certain 5 stars. If you're strong enough at the start, I think during the first anniversary, 5 stars is going to be a huge thing, especially duped 5 stars. But then later on, awakened units pretty much flood PvP. I don't do it at all. I hardly do PvP in Symphogear. I mainly focus on events. So I can't really touch upon that. Hopefully I might do that when I go global. I think these are world bosses. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah, these are world bosses. And this is like... Oh yeah, that's XD1. These are challenge quests, and those are challenge quests. Okay, so I think I've talked at length about Symphogear XD going global, the roadmap, the gacha, everything. I hope this helps, especially on what's going to happen. Like seriously, I've got a lot of experience with this game, even though I don't touch on certain elements, but still in terms of like mechanically wise, as well as the gacha, I know a lot. And yeah, is like an overall Symphogear XD Unlimited. During the first year, it's gonna be gacha hell. Second year onwards, it's gonna be a little bit more lenient on you. Not going to like not gonna take your gems away or whatever. It depends on the character, but yeah, just like as an overall, depending on the publishers and everything, Symphogear XD Unlimited does get better. The gacha hell only starts at release. After that, and during the second anniversary onwards, it just revamps and just makes everything so much better. I do hope that global follows JP. Like here's the last thing about it. It depends on pacing, because JP right now is nearing its third year. Third year, maybe going on to 4th. I think it's the 3rd year. And global is 3 years behind. So we've got like a fake grand order situation with JP and EN or global. I don't know what the pacing is going to be like for global. They might do the fake grand order thing and just go at their own slow pace, and not get us bogged down with events and therefore tons of grinding for your 4-star/5 star. It might do that. It might do the review Starlight thing where they want to hurry up as fast as possible and catch up to JP. This is going to be extremely difficult if that's the case. I'm expecting them to actually go at their own pace and do the fake grand order EN version. I'm actually thinking that this is the only way they cannot cover 3 years worth of content and trying to reduce that within a year or so. That's just not possible. I do not see that happening. So yeah, I'm happy that Symphogear XD Unlimited is actually going global. I can actually go more in depth with this game, because obviously some of the Japanese is actually barring me from actually getting more mechanically into this game as well, like just me doing the events, whatever. And I will be there on global launch, because yeah, I love Symphogear's IP, and I do like this game, especially with the wacky collabs. So I'll definitely see you guys there once global gets released. Comment below whether I'm right about these kind of stuff or what you're speculating as well. We've got like 1 or 2 months. I'm just doing this here and now, just so that the just so that my ideas are fresh and everything. So with that, I'll leave it here. With that, LA out.